things I think we have to do is to tell our story.
Yes.
Let this story be not be told by other people, because you see, if somebody tells your story, they'll tell it from their understanding.
Sure.
And when they tell it from their eye, definitely they will not tell what is true.
Yes.
We should take over the reins of telling our story and ensure that the world knows us.
Yes.
Otherwise, Africa is rising, as we are saying. The Renaissance is up and moving.
Yeah.
And very soon, I'm sure. And we pray also, because this is a great continent.
Yeah.
I'm sure that very soon things will be different.
Sure.
Although Africa is not what it is. You know, outside there, people have a picture of what Africa is not. I wish really whoever hears about the poverties in Africa and you know, the misfortunes in Africa, I wish they would come and see that maybe half of what they had is not true.
There are even people who have come, for example, for the conferences like the one we have had, and we have had stories of those people who were having, you know, fear, phobia, coming to that dark continent. But once they come, they go back saying they thought they were in Europe.
Wow.
So I think, and that is why we need to encourage more of these kind of summits, because then when people come and move around, remember also, for example, Kenya has a very diverse cultural heritage. Different people, you see the Samburus, the Maasais, the Kikuyus, the Luos. So, and very welcoming people.
And very rich cultures.
Very rich cultures. You go to the coast, their music, you know, their foods, you know, foods of Kenya. You're talking of other practices, you know. And I think when other people come, that cross-cultural, you know, pollination enhances and enriches who we are as humanity. And this is what we should put out there, and we should not be ashamed of selling our culture. I have seen, for example, and other than for the fear of some guys picking this and commercializing for their own interest, I have seen, for example, the Maasai brand. It has sold across the globe. I mean, you look at this, these are authentic, you know, indigenous Maasai people in their community. They are protected, their ecosystems and so on. And so these are places people want to come and see the manyatas, you know, and see how we have functioned as a people, how we have carried ourselves, you know, along. And I mean, we should not be ashamed of our culture.
God is wonderful that He made every person, every culture, every people differently. We need to learn about others every time we get the opportunity. Our politicians seem to be failing in leading us to actualizing some of these ideas we are saying. And sometimes I'm sure it's not because they don't know them, maybe the political will is not there. What can be the recourse? What do you think we can suggest communities are able to do so to come out of the woods?
One of the things that we must do quickly is come out of the Mtuwetu syndrome. Mtuwetu, where somebody rises up because they have money and they are auctioning the whole community for their own personal empowerment or political movement. So that then someone, you hear this language of what are you bringing to the table. So you're counting the numbers of your tribe and you are galvanizing them by whatever means, sometimes lying to them, coercing them, you know, lying, you know, dividing and what, causing hatred. Then you are going now to say, I have this number of people. So you are negotiating for power. So that then the commoditization of the voter, of the electorate, is a sorry thing. It's shameful. Very shameful. I mean, we are Kenyans, but today I find people, and I dare say this, and I pray that somebody is watching this, that it is retrogressive, it is shameful for somebody to gather around their tribes people. Another one, you tell the other one, in fact I had one telling another, go and gather your tribes people around so that you bring them on the table, then we can discuss. I mean, how do you turn your own people into a commodity in the marketplace.
And the people are celebrating that.
And the people are celebrating that. I think sometimes I see like the more we move forward, the more we are going backwards. Now, if we are going to retain our nationhood as a country, we must somehow appreciate that the tribal boundaries no longer become the matrix for political calculation. It is you to come and tell us what you are doing. Because then if that is the case, Mwita, what will happen to that Rendile person, the courier guy, who is a minority? The Ogiek, who probably has the best qualities of a leader. Merely because probably they are 1%. So we will be loaded over by the 30%, 50% because they joined with another 20%. And so they will always forever be in power.
You don't know the pain some of us are going through, like in Kuria. Kuria as a county, Migori as a county, it has got Luos, and Luos have got like 6 constituencies. And Kurias have only 2. Now, every time the race for governorship is raised, the leader is not judged on the qualities of what he can bring on table. We had one powerful man, Marwa Nelson, who was a PS in Mombasa. Not PS, sorry, he was a police commissioner. Something like that.
RC.
RC. And everybody knows the kind of job he did over there.
I know him.
But try to tell him that he can stand in any position, like a governor position. They tell you how many votes the Kurians have.
What have you brought?
So every time it becoming a normality is like a law that is not pronounced, that Kurians will only play second fiddle. You only can give us deputy governors. And our only undoing is because of the numbers.
The numbers.
So much as you may have good leaders, you count them doomed because they don't have the numbers.
The question of numbers, I think, must be tampered a bit with by having qualities of leadership, looking at qualities of leadership. Personally, for example, there are men in this country and women, I think they would have made extremely good leaders at national level. I have in mind, for example, someone like Kivuda Kibwana.
Wonderful.
You look at that man and you see the qualities of a leader. He's a guy who could have led this nation. He is from the Kamba community. They are probably a minority. Would he stand a chance of being president when numbers is what counts? I don't think so. So we will get a person with lesser capability.
If you know what we're talking about, James, is look at our leaders that have been leading us. They've been revolving in just 2 tribes, seemingly because they have the largest numbers. And this thing, we got to condemn it, as we said. Let us look for quality, qualities in a leader. Not necessarily somebody who can. There's this guy, in my opinion, Raphael Tuju. Who was a very good leader.
Extremely good.
But where is he? He's now in the woods.
He was kicked out of leadership because they said he was in the wrong party. So the party of the tribe, anybody in that party, that campaign of that party, go to power.
Becomes right.
But now, if you're in another party, so I think even as we mobilize, we must go beyond the tribe.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that is where I have a big problem with RIGATHE GACHAGUA. I want to talk to him directly and to his people. And I know this is not very comfortable. But when you come to the capital city of Nairobi and you address people at Gikomba Market in Kikuyu, Kamukunji in Kikuyu, and then you are saying, my people. They are Luya business people, they are Luo business people,
oh yes,
Kikuyu business people.
These are Kenyans
they
now.
Are Meru business people, they are Coast business people. In the same marketplace, there are people from all communities. And then you come and address Kikuyu nation in Kikuyu, in the capital city. I think sometimes, Rigathi, you need to play back your words and sometimes also ask, is this what you need to do? And I want to dare say that at times, even so, when you're so desperate for leadership, cultivate a better image. You know, I know RIGATHE is a leader, but I am saying you need advisors who can tell him, refine a bit of this. You can't go and say, Kikuyus or Mount Kenya, I come from the mountain, but no, we gave you votes 60% or 50%, and so we must get 60% resources. What of that Tana River community that have no road? They need a bridge to cross to the other side.
At the end of it, you find that the development is concentrating in one place.
Yes. And there are historical injustices. I'm telling you the truth. You have seen from independence, because of proximity to power, I will say that most of the resources were budgeted for projects around where power was. The other day we had the question of the national schools and why students from communities in the periphery, smaller communities, should not be given many opportunities at our National Schools Alliance and so on. And RIGATHE was arguing that they should also have their national schools. You have a point, they need to do that. That is what is the best that they need to improve on their schools. But where were the resources taken? The best of the resources. They were taken to the national schools. And these national schools happen to be in Central. And so denying...
They happen to be concentrated in one place.
Yes, yes, yes. Where were the first tarmac roads done?
You know, James, as we look at this, especially local leadership, we are looking at it in the prism of the African and also global perspective. And I would say that we need a leader that is globally minded.
Yes.
A leader with a global sight.
Yeah.
Because if we don't do that, there are gifts that we are going to be, you know, we are going to be leaving behind just because these people are not coming from... I'll give you an example of our people, like now this current government. Since independence, we've only had an opportunity to have a minister once. If you remember Machage, who never lasted for long.
And it was so effective.
It was very effective. Very effective.
Very effective.
And like now in this government, the only person we have that we can say as a community now, which is very unfortunate, is a PS. And there's only one.
Only one.
And that's how far they can go, because again, what do they bring to the table? I think this is very terrible, and one of these days we're going to dedicate a whole program to talk about the marginalized communities and see how they can be able to get help. Otherwise, allow me to switch gears, and then as we get into the conclusion of this, now tell me, this is Kenya, and now we are no longer talking about Africa only. Let's look at Kenya in the lenses of the globe. China is manufacturing everything. They are so enterprising. And America is now realizing that China is taking their chunk. He's trying to woo everybody. Do you remember they called China for a meeting in Paris? And being the fact that it's America calling for this meeting, their shoe must have been pinching them somewhere. I guess. What will that, where does that leave the Kenya in the global market? I would say that again, I want to quote President Ruto. These people have been saying, you know, there is a time he said that China and Africa, I think it was in China, he was invited again. The guy is playing the big league. He invited by President Xi, and he said that China and Kenya are going to craft the new world order. And, I like that. I like the psych.
They are going to lead the crafting of the new world order.
Wow.
That was great confidence from our president, but it ruffled some feathers. And you remember that there were sensitivities, and the American ambassador, some undersecretary came to Kenya to ask, hey, you guys, what is this you are doing? Some ambassadors also resigned. I think they were a bit uncomfortable with the president's comments, because then it's like you're going to partner with our enemies, China. But then in this conference, the Africa Forward Summit, again, Ruto spoke, and I like the way sometimes he has quotable quotes. He says, some are asking, are we looking east
or west?
Or west? He said, we are neither looking east nor west, we are looking forward.
Yes.
I thought that was extremely philosophical.
Yeah.
And when now you ask the question you're asking in terms of how we should position ourselves in the context of the changing dynamics, rising China, superpower America trying to control things, I think Ruto spoke right, that what really dictates the moves we make is our interests.
Sure.
So if those interests are met from the east, or from the west, or from the center, then that is what we are looking for.
Exactly.
We are looking for people to get employment. We are looking to manufacture. We are looking to do infrastructure. Now, where that interest is met, that is where we are looking. And I think that was a very apt response.
You know, Trump, when he came to power, he told everybody that he's for the interest of Americans.
Yeah, and he said, MAGA, make America great again.
Exactly.
And you have seen his programs have been mainly centered on America. He is moving out of the international commitments and looking at America. So, okay, you default to that a bit. It has its also, because a country cannot live by itself.
Sure.
But then the interest of a country must be what drives a leader's thinking.
Exactly. Wow. So thank you so much. It's been so eye-opening.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward for the next episode. And but perhaps before you sign out, I would want you to give just a message to Kenyans.
Yeah.
This opportune moment that is presenting itself.
Yeah.
Because I know after France, somebody could be warming to coming.
Yeah.
Whether they call us there or they come over, because as we said, it's a scramble for Africa. What will you advise Kenyans to position themselves? I want to see serious innovators becoming global from Kenya. I want to see our own, products and innovations hitting the global market.
Sure.
How would you want Kenyans to position for themselves for this?
I think I'll mention two things. Number one is that our industry and the leaders in industry, and they have started doing this, they must start looking beyond the boundaries of Kenya.
Okay.
We have seen this with Safaricom. Right now they have invested in Ethiopia. They are moving to other jurisdictions. We have seen it with Equity. Equity has expanded to almost the whole of East and Central Africa. In fact, this financial year, a lot of their profits have come from those places. Now, I think we should also challenge those enterprises, the James Mwangis of this country, and the others, to even those who are doing, for example, cooking oils. We have this guy in Thika, I can't remember his name, I've forgotten. We have the Chandarias of this country. Chandaria, for example, has gone to even Asia. They manufacture in different places. Now, Equity can go to South Africa. They need to also look at, can they get to Asia? Or to Europe,
even to France,
so that then there is a feeling where then we are believing in ourselves and we are scaling up. The manufacturers that we have, can they think of, now you have the model that is working for you here, then can we get partnerships and then help to scale up so that then we can sell to the global market. Of course, that means improving quality, working on systems, processes, and technology, and marketing strategies. Those are the things that I think as Kenyans we need to really come and look at. But again, Mwita, look at also agricultural products. Something very symbolic happened during the Africa Forward Summit. When they were doing the toasting, President Ruto organized so that the toasting was done using Kenyan tea. The French use champagne and their wines. But now here he said, and Macron responded very well, he said, in this place, champagne is meeting with Kenyan tea. So the toasting was between the tea and the champagne. So two cultures coming together, two experiences coming together.
Wonderful.
Now this tea that they did the toasting with, how can we then work our way up to ensure that that tea is available in restaurants in France and the farmer in Kenya gets the same value for which it is sold there? Now, I think that is where we need to come, the place we want to come to. But I think Kenya again has what it takes. Kenya is a different brand by itself. Sometimes people come to Africa, they say they have come to Kenya. They think Africa is Kenya, and Kenya is Africa. And so I tend to think our geopolitical positioning, that is why the Americans have interest in us, the Indian Ocean. Security-wise, in terms of the logistics, we are a growing, burgeoning logistics hub. In terms of a financial center, here, someone can operate here and do all the transactions.
You have the fintech.
You have the fintech technology. We have the aviation, and we are improving on that. So and then we have the UN here. So Kenya really is, and again, remember we are at the equator.
Wow.
Is it that then the world is coming to the center? And I think Kenya is positioned to bring the world to the center.
The world is coming to the center. Our viewers, we are the equator, and all those in a mix. We are innovative, we are entrepreneurial. You know, the UN is here, and we have a very youthful population. We have a good land, an arable land for farming. Everything is in Kenya. We are so grateful that you have been watching. We've had James, and James is a very insightful man. And I'm very grateful for you. Please consider subscribing, consider liking and sharing this video. As always, we are going to be meeting again by God's grace. We wish you all the best. Thank you so much. Shalom. My name is Mwita. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank
Shalom.
you. Shalom.